Anyway, I'm very excited to do this. Hello. And what we're going to do is, based on what we can get away with, we're going to play a little bit of the album as well. I hope. It shouldn't be a problem. I'm not going to play too much because these are actually, these episodes should still be behind the paywall at Earwolf and Stitcher Premium and all that stuff. So I don't want to give away too much. It's because I already know it's worth listening to, but it's more of the fun vinyl experience. I don't know of any other podcast that's done this, much as I have wanted for 8 years to do something vinyl related. It'd also be weird to release an interview podcast like my show on vinyl. So I don't know. I wouldn't do that necessarily. Actually, you know what I thought about it. There are ways I could do it. Maybe mix some of my favorite interviews and stuff because I've had some really super fun interviews on the show. But this is not what you came here for. You came here for this, which is and I don't mind showing my address on here because if you want to send me records to review, feel free. You can send them to my name or to Comedy on Vinyl or Stolen Dress Entertainment, P.O. Box 805, Burbank, California 91503. So this was just sent to me last week. So this is a nice white sort of semi-gloss envelope. Kidding, we're not doing that. Although we could ASMR it. Let's see. So I'm gonna open the plastic. So you can pretend that that's not sexual. I know ASMR is not supposed to be sexual, but come on, weirdos. Let's see. So, see if there's anything in here. Probably not. Oh, lies. I bet it's an invoice. I bet it's just a little packing slip. Ooh, packing slip. Yeah. Comedy Bang Bang presents Creak Slam Sit, the Sjunior and Brian Pieces Saga vinyl album. That's exactly what I thought it would be. They have my phone number in there. They have a phone number in there for me. That's not my phone number. Okay, that's a fun little adventure. Have to clear that up with everybody. So let us do this. Ooh, CBB1. That's what it says right there. Which I'm assuming is, I really need something sharp to open this. Otherwise, it's just going to take a long time. Let's take a long time. So I've been listening to Comedy Bang Bang, since, I don't know, a little bit before I had Scott on the podcast back in 2012. I probably started listening to it a little bit after I started the no, a little bit before I started the show. I do absolutely love Comedy Bang Bang. And these were particular favorite episodes. So they were the, see, the thing is, I was about to ask you to forgive me for this, but they're not my titles. The Farts and Procreation series. I keep hitting my mic. So the people from Parks and Rec. So specifically, the late Harris Whittles, Chelsea Peretti, and Adam Scott. So loud. All did the podcast together a few times. And they did some very ridiculous improv and character bits, and their interviews were character bits. None of them were really themselves, and they're just brilliant. And these go. I do not have the charity details, but I do know that the sales of these do go to Harris Whittle's related charity because he sadly passed away a couple years ago. I'm excited that this is what they chose to release on vinyl. This is taking for fucking ever. All right, so let's see here. Oh my God, there's more tape. These guys are very good at packaging things so that nothing explodes. Speaking of exploding, if you guys ever want to listen, I'd recommend, while I'm doing this, go listen to the Andre Jacquemin episode of Comedy on Vinyl, where we talk about unproduced Python albums. Including one where they wanted to do, the packaging would have exploded and never be able to put back together, but it cost too much and would have been too thick. There would have been a spring, basically you open it, put twang everywhere, and you never would have been able to get it. Okay, so, got that part open. We have some more tape. Got a little bit more masking tape. I'm assuming the cover looks somewhat like the image I had up a minute ago, but I don't know what the back looks like, or anything else on the inside. So, there's a little bit of tape there, but there we are. There you got your Harris Whittles, you got your Scott Aukerman, you got your Chelsea Peretti, and then your Adam Scott. The back is the motorcycle gentleman. I'm sure he has a name. I should know better. I'm a big fan of the podcast, but also, speaking of which, they just did their 10-year anniversary episode, which was 10 hours long. Purported to be a world record, although I think Jimmy Pardo's Podcastathon being 12 hours every year may have beaten that out. But Speaking of which, I also just volunteered at Podcastathon, so which I think you can still buy. Still buy some things that would actually go towards this year's totals. It's for Smile Train, the charity for cleft palate. I mentioned that because it's also on Earwolf. I'm a nerd. I am going to actually keep this little sticker, the limited edition sticker. Sometimes I keep those little things because that's my thing. Blue, yellow, haze vinyl. I have no idea what that looks like. I did forget that it is a double set, which is exciting. The inside, the gatefold there, again, the same, damn it, there we go, same 4 people. Mostly you can see Scott and Harris. It's a great photo, actually. This is a delight. The laugh on Scott's face is quite, the smile on his face. This is good. This is wonderful. You don't really need much in the face of notes, in the way of notes. On the back, it does tell you, so this is, okay, yeah, so this is 3 separate episodes from August 19th, 2011, July 5th, 2012, April 18th, 2013, does say in loving memory of Harris Whittles. It's very sweet. So even for people, who didn't know Harris, like myself, much as I might have tried to get him on my podcast, it was very sad when I found out he passed away, because he was brilliant. There's not a lot of writers who have a presence in your life, but because of podcasts and stuff, writers and people who do, because he did small bit parts on Parks and Rec and stuff, which are honestly some of my favorite parts. Oh my God, this is that same job. Yeah, it was very sad. This is, let's see what we got here. This is kind of fantastic. That's kind of beautiful. I'm not always a person who goes in for colored vinyl necessarily, although I am assured by people who know their stuff that while it used to be a problem, like picture discs and colored vinyl used to be a problem in terms of playing quality, they're not anymore. So I'm getting more into it now, but there's also not a ton of comedy albums released on nice stuff like this. Although the few companies that specialize, like Stand Up Records and AST Records, do that kind of stuff with frequency. So this is side A. I'm assuming the second one looks like it's the same general. I'm assuming it is the blue haze. Let's see what it looks like. I like that. I liked it. It looks like they had a yellow bead of vinyl and then just threw in a blue in the middle and just let it splurch like that. That's a technical term in the vinyl industry, splurch. I like how it looks though. It's awesome. There might even be some reasoning they chose this that I'm totally forgetting. Apologies, hardcore fans, if I am entirely forgetting why that would be, but I like how it looks. So what I'm going to do is play a bit of probably just the first side, because I've never heard a podcast on vinyl, and I'm not going to put too much again because I don't want to, literally probably only a few seconds, because I don't want anybody to have problems with this. I don't want to devalue this record. So this, from what I understand, this was a limited edition of 500. I'm going to see me pull up the website here. But they have, I believe, yeah, so they're out of stock now. There was a mention at some point they were going to do a reissue. So I don't know if that is officially happening or not. My hope is that it will be happening at some point, so people can get other copies of it. So let's do side A. Let me see if this mentions, yeah, okay, so this is the August 10th, 2011 part. Yeah, and then the next one is July 5th, 2012. So let's just do this. So let's put you here on the, pardon me, on the record cam. And we'll do this. It's a little bumpy. It's a little hard when it's in this, where I have my record player is a terribly inconvenient spot in my office. So it looks really cool when somebody who's got a podcast about vinyl doesn't know how to put a record on. So here we go.
All right, so that sounds great. Anyway, so Chelsea,
Wait. Do you want us to do it?
Oh, is that? Oh, you guys actually want to do the characters?
Yeah, that's why we're here. We're the ketchup and mustards. We wore our red and yellow shirts.
Harris is wearing a yellow shirt, and Adam is wearing a red shirt, and
that's just for old time's sake, because that's what we used to wear at our shows, because it was called the ketchup and mustards.
Every 8 a.m. Thursday through Sunday at the Third City Theater.
The Third City. What do you mean the Third City?
In Chicago, it was a little smaller than the Second City. and it was down the street.
The second city is actually a nickname of okay, never mind. All right, so, and your name's Brian?
Well,
My character's name is Brian.
Let us
Brian,
know if you've
character's
officially, if we've entered.
Okay, so do you need to do anything to prepare for this? Any kind of...
We'll do the entrance.
Okay.
All right, ready? Creak, slam, sit. Hello?
Hey, Jack.
Well, it's great to meet you, but, well, I mean, Jack, you and I have met before.
Indeed.
And Brian, this is our first time meeting.
It is. Hi.
Hi, it's great to meet you both. So now we're taping this at night. Are you coming from a long day at the lumberyard?
Yeah, well, I mean, I work today. Jack worked as well.
Not too long. It was pretty normal. 9 to 5. Well, 9 to 5:30.
I got in at 8:45. I just had a little bit of work to do before.
Right, and then
before
I had a
clocked
little
in.
bit after, so I stayed a half hour late.
Oop, boy, see, there we go. There's some classic record scratch. Boy, oh boy, I'm doing a bang up job. Again, I don't like having this record player where it is. I don't want to play too much more, but it's already bringing back wonderful memories of sitting in traffic, listening to these, and being so stressed out because of how it gets more and more painful. The fake character work, the lengths to which they Creak slam sit within, like they do sketches within sketches within sketches. If you think you talking you two to me, or are you talking REM me, are recursive and insane, these get character within character within character within character, and they have to resolve, get back out of that reality, resolve, get out of that reality, and they barely hold on to each of them. So, I mean, like I said, I can already review these because I've heard them a million times. One of the really dumb things I did when I grabbed it for a second, I was like, I wonder if there's a digital download. To be fair, that was a half a thought. But yeah, this is like the most fun way to get some of the best parts of that podcast. I do hope they do more Comedy Bang Bang vinyl, frankly. There's some stuff that an entire Paul F. Tompkins double set would be fantastic, with selections from some of his best characters. There's too much, but that would be fantastic. That would be kind of my dream. I would like to play more of this, but I don't want, like I said, I don't want to damage the market for it, even though they're already sold out. So, but I do believe that they're going to have more coming out at some point. Obviously, I recommend this. I wouldn't have asked for it if this is something I wouldn't recommend. I do ask for stuff sometimes, and I guess I would. I guess if it absolutely sucked, I wouldn't recommend something like that. If this sounded or looked like garbage, I guess that would be weird. But doesn't sound or look like garbage. It's a weird way to almost end this. Again, so this is, if you go to, so here's the thing, you'll see I'm at the newburycomics.com website. I imagine if you keep checking in there, if they do re-release them, unless here's the other thing, that also could be the second round, so maybe those are gone too, I don't know, but ask them, there's just something like this. If you want something to come out, you just got to ask. Let them know. But this is a delight. This is so much fun. I'm going to listen to this all the way through for a number of reasons. Number one is my Stitcher Premium trial doesn't last that much longer, and I like having these permanently in my collection. This is a fun addition. I sometimes get free records and don't keep them, but because they're just not re-listenable. I know that these are re-listenable. So I'm selling something that's already sold out, but I think it's definitely worth listening to. And I don't know if anybody else out there has listened to it or is going to listen to it. It would be fun to talk with you about it, because if you're a fan of Comedy Bang Bang and of my show, I'm sure we'd have plenty to talk about. I do want to make sure that I don't forget here to tell you to go to stolendress.com. Stolendress.com is where all my other podcasts are. You can see we've got What's With You, Scooby-Doo. Of Dice and Dens is our new Dungeons and Dragons podcast. Every once in a while you'll see Stolen Dress sidecasts, which are there. This is the Richard Trio, which is a weird, actually it was pre-Comedy Bang Bang. They're very dumb interviews that I did with my buddy Scott and my buddy Chad Newman. And Scott's always the interviewer, Dickie Allenstar, which is a terrible name, and he knows it. And I'm always whatever character he tells me I am. So it's a little different. I don't come in with anything loaded up. he would, and these are like 2001. So, it's me at my sort of half-assed improv and him having to deal with my improv skills or lack thereof. Then you have, let's see, I'd actually like to recommend that you go to Instagram, follow me, Jason Klamm, JSONKLAMM, which is not what you see here. Hashtag the professional blur is, for now, my hashtag. So I did extra work for about 10 years and then stopped doing it for another 10 years, and I've started doing it again. So check this out. I am writing a book about it. So if you follow the hashtag, check my stuff out, share it out there. Like this, there's me dead on CSI New York. Look at that. That's a program from The Aviator. I'm in The Aviator. Just posted this the other day. I was in The Comeback with Lisa Kudrow, and here's how. So where am I in this scene? Well, right there. That's how small I often am. I was just on the show 911. Which I don't know if you can, yeah, here we go. You can see this. Where am I in this shot? I'm here. How do I know? I know it was me. And there's a full shot of me. So I do that kind of stuff because I think it's kind of funny that is a thing. Go to WNYXNewsRadio.com. That's my news radio podcast. You can see we just interviewed Vicki Lewis. I mean, come on. That. And this week, this episode won't come out, but we're interviewing this week Candy Alexander, also from News Radio. That will be super, super fun. And go to danaj.com, where Dan J's Comedy Hour is. It's my best friend and I have been doing sketch comedy together since 1993, and this is our podcast about our own sketch comedy, etc., etc., etc. So it's worth checking out, I think. So thank you very much for watching this little mini live stream, which I'm realizing now probably didn't even have a title when it got sent over because of the software I'm using. So that'll be super, super fun. Anyway, thank you guys for watching and listening. And as always, have a good thing. And now all I have to do is stop.